Words can't describe the endless challenge of Super Mario World, so we let the players do the talking. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Hello, retro gamers and collectors. Whether you're new to the Super Nintendo scene, or you're just building up your shelf without breaking the bank, here is a list that has you covered. As a reminder, or if you're new to this series, the games I recommend on this list have to be readily available and decently priced. As a result, games like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger will not appear on this list. These are games that will provide a good intro to the system and encourage further gameplay and collecting. So without any further delay, here's my list of 10 essential games that I think every Super Nintendo collector should have. It may not come as a surprise that starting off my list is the game that started off this generation. Super Mario World is not just one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, but one of my favorite games of all time. Standing the test of time, this game is still one of the best 2D platformers ever made. With tight controls, secret paths, and even Yoshi on board for this adventure, it's pure platforming perfection and a perfect addition to your Super Nintendo collection. Another iconic game considered to be one of the best ever made, not just on the Super Nintendo, is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Whether considered a role-playing game or action-adventure classic, this game defined the genre. With its deep dungeons, clever puzzles, and 2 entire worlds to explore, it's still magical and holds a special place in many gamers' hearts, including this one. Looking back on this title, it's easy to see the influence that this game had on even modern Zelda games, and the opening storm sequence still gives player chills over 30 years later. Any kid growing up in the 90s, regardless of whether they played the game or not, likely remembers Donkey Kong Country. Nintendo spared no expense, advertising its revolutionary pre-rendered graphics, cementing the Super Nintendo as a technological powerhouse even 4 years into its life cycle. Its addictive gameplay and catchy jungle beats turned heads in 1994 and plays just as well today. Fun fact, the graphics were made using Silicon Graphics workstations, the same tech that helped shape Pixar films and special effects of the early 90s, including Jurassic Park. This game is a worthy addition to any Super Nintendo collection. This next title may be a little pricier than some others on this list, but it holds value and prestige in any Super Nintendo collection. Eerie, atmospheric, and packed with secrets, this game is the reason why we have the term Metroidvania. From its iconic opening sequence, to spending hours exploring and grinding through sections, this game is sure to provide a thrill to gamers new and old. Next on my list is Final Fantasy II, also known as 4 in Japan. With US gamers absent-mindedly skipping over 2 entries in the series, Final Fantasy II was seen as a huge leap over its predecessor. This game allows you to travel back to a time before voice acting and cutscenes. This RPG tells a heartfelt story with sprites, music, and a world of imagination. This game is much cheaper than Final Fantasy III, or 6 in Japan, but it still has that signature square charm and magic and is sure to provide hours of entertainment for role-playing fans. Moving on, my next recommendation would be Kirby's Dream Course. This game is essentially golf, but with a Kirby twist, with copy abilities and enemy obstacles. Looking at this gameplay footage, it is definitely way more addictive than it looks and sounds. I will say this game is often overlooked, but a fan favorite for its charm and originality, and I definitely recommend this title as a unique experience on your Super Nintendo console. Fans of the Mega Man series will have definitely played Mega Man X. This game is a rebellious upgrade to the original series, with faster gameplay, tougher enemies, and an overall cooler aesthetic. X just doesn't shoot, he also now dashes and climbs. I would recommend this first game because the other two are ridiculously expensive in comparison, and this game is sure to provide entertainment to those who play it. A game that was seemingly forgotten for a couple of generations, FZero got its start on the Super Nintendo again at the beginning of its life cycle. This was one of the first games to use the special Mode 7 scaling mode that became famous on the Super Nintendo, which back in the day really made you feel like you were racing in the future. The game lacks a head-to-head multiplayer mode, however if you take turns, you could definitely try to compete for high scores, or just compete through the Grand Prix mode. Another fun fact is that Super Mario Kart got its start as a two-player F-Zero concept game before it became Mario Kart. Putting the other half of the title in Metroidvania is Super Castlevania 4. This game is a gothic masterpiece, with moody music and whip-swinging action. This was the first game in the series where you could finally throw your whip in 8 different directions, instead of the 4 cardinal directions of the D-pad, and at the time, it felt revolutionary. This game will still offer a challenge to hardcore gamers, and is sure to provide lots of entertainment for those with a Super Nintendo. Before I reveal my final pick, let's be honest, this list could have easily been at least twice as long. There are so many iconic Super Nintendo games that deserve recognition, but I had to draw the line somewhere, which brings me to my final pick, Super Mario AllStars. Part of the reason for choosing this title to be an essential one is the fact that this game is essentially a crash course in classic Mario. This game includes a meticulously remastered copy of every single mainline Mario game, including one that never made it over to the US, the original Japanese Mario Bros. 2, remastered as the Lost Levels. But if you need a more personally biased reason why this title made it to the list, it's the fact that it includes my favorite game of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3. For myself and many others, this is the game that sparked a lifelong love for gaming. And there you have it. 10 budget-friendly Super Nintendo games that prove you don't need to have deep pockets to enjoy deep gameplay. Whether you're collecting, replaying, or discovering these titles for the first time, these classics still pack the same punch they did decades ago. But this is just the beginning. There are many more titles worth playing, and I'd love to hear which ones you would have included on your list. Go ahead and drop your favorite affordable Super Nintendo title in the comments. Leave a like if this list brought back some memories, and don't forget to subscribe for more retro gaming picks, collecting tips, and other things from the golden age of gaming. If you like this video and you'd like to help out with future projects on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. A special thanks to those Patreons you see on screen. Also, if you like what you see, please remember to leave a like and click that subscribe button on your way out. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.